out of the group and be like, this is the one I'm the least sure about, at least out of this matchup. You know, SK Telecom T1's such a strong player. This is the player that they're going to have in the third game for them. SoO, you see his rating right there. He is over 50% with the first win. The first game he played was a win in Pro League 2014.
Yeah, this guy's got a lot of history in Pro League for StarCraft 1 as well as for StarCraft 2. One of the better players for SK Telecom T1, definitely one of their forerunners, somebody they put out often, and one of their most successful players in the individual leagues as well. So, you know, there's a lot of B-teamers on SK Telecom T1 that you don't see come out all too often. Players like Paralyzed, for example, who have lackluster results in the individual league, but SoO is not one of those, and he's up against Trap. Really, really solid player in the mid-game, does not make mistakes. That is, he just follows his build like it's a wave crashing on the shore. Like, it's just going to eventually get there. Nothing's going to stop him. Nothing's going to get in his way. And a wave doesn't actually just suddenly mess up and not make it.
Wave doesn't decide to go towards the shore and be like, oh, wait, no, like, I think I should go like this, and then, like, go to the left or something.
Yeah, Wave doesn't, like, go sideways at the last second. Wave doesn't lose its mothership core in the middle of the map for no reason either.
That's for sure.
All right, let's go into our third set. SoO versus Trap. One of these teams is going to take the lead. SK Telecom T1 versus Incredible Miracle 2014 Pro League.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Up here in the top right, we have the red Zerg representing SK Telecom T1. It is, of course, SoO.
And to the top left, to the top of the studio, one of the most enthusiastic fans of all time. To the top left of the map. For IM, it's, of course, Trap.
You gotta love those guys who are just screaming in the studio, creating hype, creating excitement for everyone here. He is that guy that you hear always screaming in the back, bomb, 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 bomb.
Yes.
That's him.
That's him.
You got a good look at him on the screen.
Well, this is unfortunate for SoO starting things off with, he's going for a 9 pool here. That's a totally different person, while the other very enthusiastic fan can scream, but we have a 9 pool here, and this is annoying for SoO because he went for a scout that's the incorrect direction. A lot of Zerg players will go for that scout down towards the bottom, but because he doesn't know where his opponent is spawning, it's going to be hard for him to, with confidence, go ahead and send those runners across. Of course, he has to do it. And luckily for him, the next closest place is actually where his opponent spawns, so he's going to go ahead and check that first.
And what do you think about him going for a 9 pool on this 4-player map? And I mean, it's one of the biggest maps we have in the pool, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it just kind of seems like lackluster. It doesn't seem solid. What do you think?
I don't really like it either. But there's one glaring strength to it, and that's that it's very unpredictable. It's not something that you're going to expect as a Protoss. Protoss might actually go Nexus first on this map, skip the Forge, because the map is, like you said, very large. It's a 4-player map. It's hard to do a build like this and be successful. So he might not be expecting this, and that's something that SoO can maybe think to himself, like, okay, this is going to be great. But with the gateway in the main base, and already the core is up, and he can easily pull his probes to help defend this before the Zealot is out, should be in good shape. There's the Zealot being started now, and as soon as he identifies that the Lings are coming, he's going to Chrono Boost that. Well, he actually hasn't scouted at all, and this is something that SoO has studied in his opponent's play, so he's going to be able to get some damage here for sure.
Yeah, this is something you can see if you watch a Protoss player enough on this map. Maybe he doesn't scout. Here come the Zerglings. We're going to have to see. The Zealot is not out yet. It was not Chrono Boosted. Trying to pick off any probes he can. So far, not successful.
Great micro here. Oh my god, Trap. He does not make mistakes, like I said, and with his micro, no exception here.
And look at this, putting up that pylon right now. Not in danger of losing that one pylon that powers basically his only important buildings right now.
All he needs is that second Zealot out, and then this attack is done. This probe goes out here. Mineral walking through actually draws all the Zerglings back. Now that the 2 Zealots are out, starts Warp Gate research, can force his way down the ramp. And for SoO, not a lot of damage done here, but he does force 2 Zealots out, rather than, of course, the faster tech to the Stalker, which would have been more ideal. Second gas is up a little bit late for Trap as well, and his Nexus is delayed. So a few small victories here, and he's even going to further delay it. I like this, keeping the Zerglings there. But now he has to deal with... Are the Zealots going across farm? Where did those end up going? Okay, no, he did keep those at home. I was about to say, that would be a little bit strange.
He was able to get that probe all the way across the map, and he does see that hatchery coming up, so he is going to be in the know for now.
Yep. Mothership Core about to finish. With a Mothership Core against something like this, you always feel very comfortable because you can just leave it out in front of your Nexus, and if there's any attack coming and these Zerglings coming, you can see it so far away. And if the Zerglings stay underneath the Mothership Core, they can take damage, so they won't even get further away if they're camping outside of your base. So that's really annoying as a Zerg player. The Zealots are actually forcing their way all the way across the map right now.
Yeah, forcing those Zerglings out. They want to get at least, you know, if you have been forced to get those Zealots out, you can at least use them to pressure or maybe get control of the Watchtower. Just do whatever you can with them because you're forced to take them out.
Yep. There's the double gateway wall there, and Stalker would love to complete the wall, but he's going to deal with this annoying Overlord in the main base first. Wants to deny, and he's scouting up the tech he wants to put up. We'll probably see a Stargate added here as soon as that Overlord is pushed away, or even before then, if he can find a good location.
Yeah, and he does exactly what you were saying, throws that Stargate up. In the meantime, just droning up, nothing too crazy out of SoO. Oh, what? He didn't kill the Overlord, he just let it go. And that could be huge. The Overlord could come back and see the Stargate. I think SoO's surprised even. He's just like, what?
He lost vision of the Overlord, I guess. I think. Nothing else makes sense to me. There might have been like a dead spot there. And it probably could have been if he microed his Stalker, he could have killed it. But since he didn't, he might even think that it's dead.
And look at this, 16 Zerglings coming out of SoO right now. He has to defend this push. This is a bit scary here.
This is what happens when you do a build like this and you don't have your Roach Warren up because everything is delayed. A Frost player who still gets his Warp Gate Research up at the same time is always going to have these Zealots to pressure you. And Zerglings alone against Zealots, of course, not ideal. Time Warp here is decent. He needs another round of Warp-ins, though, to make this really effective. And the hold here for SoO is already pretty decent. He's pushing this back a little bit. Here's the Warp-in, though. This is the scary part.
Yeah, he was able to defend it for now. He has the 7 Roaches coming out. Hopefully they can come out in time. Warping in 2 of those Zealots, though. 3 of those Zealots.
This is buying a lot of time for SoO, or rather for Trap, because he knows now, okay, you've spent a lot of larva on slow Zerglings, which are not going to do anything to me. You, of course, eliminated a lot of your ability to make drones because of this. Also, you don't have a third base, something I also know. And you made a bunch of Roaches in panic. So those are coming across the map to me, I know that. And here comes an Oracle, something that it looks like SoO is not expecting at all. Only having Queens here, no Oracles whatsoever, and he's just ignoring those so far. 5 kills, 6 kills will go down. Hard to argue if that's worth it.
It is an annoyance, though. He was forced to pull those drones, and as you see now, he's going to go for a counter push here. I'm not sure if it's going to do much damage, but at this point, he basically has to do some damage to get back in this game. There's still no third.
This group of Zealots needs to get in the main base, needs to get behind that wall. He's got some sentries here, but does not want to fight that out in the open.
Yeah, SoO seeing the sentries did not want to get force fielded on the ramp. And this Oracle could come over here and defend the push if it needs be.
It's still a 2-base Zerg against a 2-base Protoss. Never ideal. Started Roach form before he even started his third base. That's how slow the third is. Doesn't mean that SoO is in an unwinnable position, but it's definitely not a comfortable one. If you look at the supply, you can see that Trap is actually ahead in supply. Never an ideal situation.
And another Oracle coming in here, getting 2, 3, 4, forcing the drones to be pulled off the line again, and this time he's going to get away. Going in for an extra drone. He knows exactly how much health he has. Now that's 13 drones down. SoO desperately trying to get that number back up, making 9 more. Getting Roach Speed and Burrow at the same time is +1.
Yep, SoO definitely having 13 as his unlucky number right now.
Yeah.
This army that we see here can easily deal with the slow Zergling Roach force. Roach speed soon to be done, but there's not a ton of Roaches on the map, and that's what this Oracle is hunting for right now. He's basically saying, I know you're out there somewhere, where are you? How safe is this third base that I'm taking right now? He wants to get his units prepped. The Roaches and Zerglings are actually taking the long way around here than natural. He already knows there's no third Nexus here because there's an Overlord spreading creep. Trap is in a great spot right now. He's got all the tech coming up. He's got the robotic support base, getting his +1 attack. Burrow movement is a really interesting place. I like that a lot. We'll see if SoO can do that to try to get back into this game.
And you guys, if you didn't catch that at the top, that Overlord that didn't go down just scouted the robotic support way, yeah. And he now has that vision. And he is going to get this nice time over here. He's going to get really nice force fields here, trap out a lot of this army of SoO, and he cannot afford to lose those units right now.
Yep. This is terrible for SoO because yeah, he baited a lot of force fields here, but there's still a lot of energy left. This third Nexus is about to complete, and when that's done, he can use the Mothership for Photon Overcharge. Even the Oracle participating in the defense here. Can he actually knock this Nexus down before it's done? It's going to be closer. Observer wants to keep it a mystery for us how many hit points it has left. Like I said, it's about to finish. And with that Mothership core here, he's not going to be able to get anything done. He really needs that Burrow movement to make something happen, because with that, he can go underneath the force fields. And that recently got a buff. You know, the Roaches move a lot faster underneath those force fields now. And he's trying to do a little bit more damage to this Nexus here.
Still hasn't done any health damage. Only shields. The Photon Overcharge does go down. At the same time, we have Colossi coming out. We have the vision of these Roaches coming in that are Burrow moving in. They're not going to do much. Maybe they can target down the Colossi, but not much. He's doing a counterattack here at the third. He is going to get this Nexus.
This is huge. This is how SoO gets back into the game. Using Burrow movement, drawing the Protoss army back into the main base, keeping him occupied. He may not do anything more here than killing 4 or 5 probes, maybe even less than that, depending on how he targets. But it's worth it for the Nexus. He gets the Nexus here, and that's utilizing Zerg Research to a Zerg player's advantage and to a Protoss's detriment. He's now also getting Swarmos because the Protoss trap in this case is stuck at home, desperate on the defense. This gives him plenty of time to get those Swarmos up, continue the Swarmos upgrades. 9 Swarmos, 10 Swarmos with the Locust upgrade. That is a ton of damage coming his way very, very soon.
Yeah, Trap thankfully keeping the front of his army over there at the third. He has to be careful because those Roaches are coming in again. He's just continuing with this annoying Prode Roaches, just regenerating his health, not dying to the Zealot.
Yeah, it's actually turned away. It's so funny to watch. Roaches over here trying to maybe force a cancel again, but they're not able to do so. The Swarmos, on the other hand, may be able to get a little bit more concrete damage done. This creep spread is so important right now. It helps the Locust move across all the much quicker. And also the Swarmos themselves getting into position. They're now on the Watchtower. And if they get that increased lifetime upgrade finished for the Locusts, they can actually start sieging up that Nexus right away. And starting to trade against the army of Trap. He does have 2 Colossi, which is going to help him out. The Swarmos count though at 12. Means that the Colossi are not going to be able to kill Locust fast enough to stop Locust from doing all their damage.
Yeah, I'd love to get a look at the production dab right now to see exactly what Trap is going for. We see a Zealot drop coming this way in the Warp Prison. It seems like it was spotted, but we'll have to see if he sees that tiny little blip on the map. I want to see, he's only made 2 of these Colossi. I want to see what kind of tech he's going into.
Looks like he wants to switch into Storm potentially. Warp Prism coming towards the main base here. I believe it was Scout. Yeah, he sends his Roaches home, but keeping the Locust over here. Yeah, we'll see how much damage this gets done. With the Roaches coming back so quickly, I don't think he's going to get a whole lot done. Queens and a few Roaches already there, and the rest of the Roaches coming to defend here makes this just a big mineral sink right now for Trap. I can't believe he even considered warping in more Zealots. Gets away with 4 of them, and Locusts continuing to do some damage to these Stalker shields.
Yeah, just a really big annoyance right now. It just forces Trap to continuously have to deal with this, continue kiting. It's even just a micro sync. It's not allowing him to do as much and be as efficient in his base as he will like to, or maybe even to micro this Zealot drop and try to get back in this game.
Yep. A few Zealots went down even during that Locust wave. Yep. Even the Lyote. Oh, the Lyote calls being part of that group of Locusts.
Poor casualty of war. He didn't deserve it.
I mean, he's just able to get so much done with these. I like this so much, though, because the Colossi and the few units that he keeps at home will be enough to stave off the Locust. He's going to take a small amount of damage, but this Stalker presence could actually do a critical amount, if not scouted.
Yeah, he does have the blink on those Stalkers. They can move across the map very, very fast. He is also bringing this War Prism over here. It looks like he's totally prepared for this. Could possibly go down. Yes, it does go down. No damage done here. The Stalkers as well, trying to take out some of these Overlords over here.
The thing is, what we see from SoO is a really solid position. Trap, on the other hand, has a third base secured. His worker count is actually higher than SoO's, so he's got a great economy right now. What he would like to have is more void races, eventually in addition to charge, if he hasn't had that already. Again, we don't have an observing PC. I apologize for this, guys. Sometimes there's some things are uncertain about. Yeah, he's making 3 Void Rays at times. He's added 2 Stargates. And this is really, really important because once he gets that Void Ray count up, right now, without any Infestors, there's no answer for SoO. He is going to want to get those Infestors out. He has the Infestation Pit tech and is already going in Greater Spire pretty comfortably on 3 base.
Yeah, and I'm sure once he sees all those Void Rays, he's going to get some Infestors out as well. We're seeing this quickly turn into another late-game PvZ like we just had one. We're going to see how these 2 players respond to the different things that the others can throw at them.
Here comes a group of Stalkers around the south, but with that creep spread, that really, really nice creep spread from SoO, he's able to identify this. This is actually a lot of Zerglings. There's no escape for these Stalkers right now. No Mothership Core to help out either. Eventually, they're going to run out of space to blink to real fast here.
Even the corruptions on the Stalkers to get them down as fast as possible. Now they finally get that final blink out there. A nice warp in here of 7 Zealots trying to do something, but again, just ready all the time for SoO.
SoO is making this Zerg composition work really, really well on 3 bases, but even though he is a 3-base Zerg against a 3-base Protoss, he's not ideal. And if Trap can get over on top of the Swarmos and eliminate them, then his army will crush everything that SoO has. The Swarmos are basically keeping him alive for now. He's going to be very careful here, though. A lot of Zerglings leading the charge. And where's the Mothership Core? It's very, very late. There's not enough forces to stop all the roaches here. Queen's helping out as well with the transfuse.
The Locust as well. All of these Corruptors trying to focus down the Corruptors, but a lot of Void Rays doing much damage. They aren't being respected right now, doing so much damage with that overcharge.
Respect the Void Rays. SoO did not, but at the same time with all these Locusts, the ground army just can't keep forcing this. The Prismatic Alignment is up. It's over. 13 more Corruptors on the way. And SoO dropped in supply, fell in supply there, lost a lot of his units, but it doesn't matter to him too much because he's got a 4th base going up. He's pushing up a lot of his static defenses, and he won a very critical battle where he's now taking control of the ground army. Yes, the Void Rays are still there, and this is something I'd really like to see him switch to a few Infestors for. This is a nice warp, and if he can actually cancel this hatchery, that would be so critical, and I think he may be able to just do that.
Yeah, this is a warp in that's actually going to do some damage over here. It's going to force a cancel on this 4th and keep it 3-base to 3-base. This is not what SoO wants.
This is a pretty rare occurrence where Zerg players with this solid of a composition is just not able to take a 4th base. It doesn't seem to be SoO's concern. His bigger concern is to attack, to put this pressure on with the Swarmos, rather than actually taking his own 4th. Now he takes it again. He's going to want to keep some static defenses nearby, though, I think, to make sure that doesn't get canceled.
The one thing I'm worried about, like we said before, he does not have any Infestors in this composition, not that I've seen. He's continuing to make these Corruptors to deal with all these Void Rays, and he's slowly doing this slow push of static defense forward. He does have 4 Broodlords as well, but there are so many Void Rays in that comp right now.
It's just that the Void Rays do need a little bit of ground support, and with all the Spine Crawlers, the Locusts, and Broodlords now as well participating in the fight, it's hard to close that gap. He's forced to pull his probes away here. This Zealot run by, we'll see how much it does. Only 1 Spine Crawler here, so this actually could be a pretty big loss for SoO, especially if we see a big warp in here.
Yeah, we do see the bulk of SoO's army at the front of the Protoss base right now.
It's actually turning around. This could be a great moment for Trap. He blinks, hoping to get some Corruptors, but there are roaches underneath that army.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. They're forcing the 3rd to stop mining for SoO. That is very good, and this scary death wall. Look at how many Void Rays are in that composition. Now getting Storm as well. This is going to be so hard to deal with for SoO.
Transfuse is going down like crazy on the hatchery, but on the other hand, Trap is keeping up his multitasking, now attacking the 4th yet again. Needs to pull these Colossi back. Would love to get those Void Rays to just be the ones fighting the Locusts.
And look at this, he's going to focus down this 4th again. He does not want this to go up, but a bunch of transfuses is going to save it. He needed to do that. He needed to save that 4th ring.
The Zerg player on 3 bases, making Roaches, Hydras, and Infestors, is going to run out of steam. The Zerg player on 3 bases, making 3 units, making Locusts and Broodlings, doesn't need a 4th as badly here, and he's being very cost efficient. Now this army is trapped. There's a Prismatic Alignment. Where are the Storms? Storm is not ready. +3 is not ready either, and the Corruptors with Queen support are making quick work of those Void Rays, at least for now.
For now they are. A bunch of these Corruptors are going down though, but there's no ground army for Trap right now. the bulk of his super expensive units all going down here to those queens and corruptors.
I mean, the amount of resources mined for these two players is almost equivalent. In fact, with this fourth base being up for a little while for Trap, you can almost argue that Trap has mined more money in this game. A lot more money. But it just doesn't matter if the units your opponent is killing you with don't cost money. Locusts don't cost money. Broodlings don't cost money. Once you have the investment in the Broodlords, once you have the investment in the Swarmos, you just keep sending free units out. You wear your opponent down. The biggest story of this game is SoO's defense. Never losing too much to the Zealot run-bys. That was the one moment that the Trap had to do damage to some of these run-bys, where it could have hit some of the tech, could have hit the economy a little bit harder. But with a good defense from SoO, he didn't get anything done. He was never able to move out. He was always on the defensive.
Yeah, and he never gave up here. He was a bit behind. He was on 3 base to 3 base, but he was able to get this big ball of Zerg units up at the same time. And now we're basically just waiting for the GG out of Trap. He has lost all of his expensive units. He has nothing left, and we have this huge Zerg death ball moving across the map. 2 Archons aren't going to be able to do anything against this.
No, definitely not. Way too much damage here coming his way, and 77 supply left is not the answer. Trap is going to have to type out here. This base is history. He's already going for the probes instead of the Nexus itself, knowing the future Locust will easily make quick work of that. Queens here, stopping any sort of area units coming forward, also giving the transfuser to the Broodlords, and doing a decent amount of damage to themselves. GG! SoO takes a win, puts SK Telecom T1 back into the lead. That was a close game, and it was really, really crazy to see how cost-efficient a Zerg player on 3 base can really be with that many Swarmos. He rushed out, I think, 15, was it, in the beginning?
Yeah.
You have that many
13,
Swarmos.
I think.
There's something around, yeah, I guess I was a little off. You were more precise there. About 13. Any amount of Swarmos over 10, you get out that early because you have so much pressure on a Protoss, in this case Trap. Trap was stuck on the defensive, so he couldn't punish him for committing so much to those Swarmos. Once the Swarmos are out, though, they're just going to keep sending those free units very, very cost efficiently.
Yeah, it just put Trap on the back foot. Trap did his best to try to make those drops all over the map, but even though SoO did get a slightly late third and a very late fourth, it didn't really matter. He was able to get that big ball up with the help of those Swarm hosts, putting Trap on the back foot. He was trying to also build up his army. Trap didn't quite work out in the end, kind of got caught out in the middle of the map. And eventually, SoO taking that win for SK Telecom T1, puts them in the match now. If they win one more Sulky against Squirtle,
Sulky,
they do win this.
Sulky now is the last player they need to get a win. If Sulky's able to win it, then it's all over, and SK Telecom